Hi there, VC. Steve Whitty here. It is Sunday, the last Sunday of 2020, so I thought I'd best get a video in. Hope everybody's well and had a good Christmas. Belated Merry Christmas to everyone. However you spent it, I must admit I spent mine on my own. I wasn't the only one that's had to do that. I think we, as a family, made the decision quite early on in December that this would be the best way of doing things. So it was a quiet one. Opening the presents was difficult. That was probably the worst part of it, because that's normally something you do as a group. But hey ho, it is what it is, and if this time next year we'll have some form of normality, then it will be worth it. So anyhow, back to the video. It's best of 2020. I'm going to show you my 5 favourite reissues of 2020 and the 5 favourite new releases as well. So, without further ado, let's start off at number 5 from the reissues. It's Lola Lola versus Powerman and the Money Go Round. I can never get this title right. This only came out about reissue a couple of weeks ago. Sort of like, unlike Village Green Preservation Society and Arthur, it's sort of like had a very low key reissue. There wasn't much of a campaign going on. Maybe it was all that was going on around the world, made it difficult to promote. This album originally came out in 1950, so it's the 50th anniversary reissue. Sort of the album that where Ray Davies is sort of like having a little bit of a pop about life in general, and particularly the music industry. Obviously, from the title, you've got Lola on here, which was a number 2 hit single for them in 1970. And then you also got 8 Man, which sort of like telling the story about wanting to get back to nature with everything that's going on. That became a hit single for them as well, I think in 72, and that ended up being the last hit single for a while for the band. It's a really good album. It's very nice sounding album. I think at this point, Ray Davies, obviously spurred on by Village Green and Arthur, just really was getting his swing on songwriting and having themes to albums. So if you haven't seen it, well worth picking up. And it wasn't a bad price either. Number 4, the Craftwork reissues. This is the Man Machine. This is the only one I've brought, but great. But it good. It was. I think this is the 2000. They've done what they've done is the 2011 pressings onto colour vinyl. So I think I've shown you this when I showed the video. So this is coming nice red vinyl, and all the other Craftwork albums had the same treatment. They also, on the reissue campaign, did the German language version as well. So if you're a completist, that might be worth picking up. Yeah, great album, great set of reissues there. Number 3, this is Richard and the Thompsons. I Want to See the Bright Lights Tonight. It's a bit of a glare on here. I think we've still got a shrink wrap on, so you're still going to get some glare. This took some time to come, actually. The reissue campaign was going to be quite early in the year, and then it got put back because of COVID, and eventually it got reissued. All the albums on Ireland, they released on Ireland, got reissued, and there was a box set as well that came out. This is really... this is by far my favourite album of theirs. It's the debut album. The title track, I Want to See the Bright Lights Tonight, Little Beggar Girl, Where the Drunkards Roll, When I Get to the Border Cap. It's just a really great piece of folk rock on there. Number 2, is Robert Wyatt, his Greatest Misses. This was a greatest hits album that came out originally on CD only in 2002. I think Japan only had the 2004. Sorry, Japan had the vinyl version. But yeah, it is, as it says, it's in his own sardonic style. Robert Wyatt calling it his greatest misses, his best of album. Absolutely wonderful stuff on here. His version of I'm a Believer, Shipbuilding. I want to check out some more, see if I can get some more of his stuff on vinyl, because Robert Wyatt's one of the great sort of great artists that we have. He never lets the circumstances of what's happened to him stop him. Never felt. I don't think he's ever felt sorry for himself. He uses it as inspiration in some of his songs as well. So, great one. And I suppose my top reissue. No, if I had the money, I'd have bought the Prince box set, and that probably would have been my top reissue. But I haven't got the money, so I didn't buy any of the Prince reissues because I'd already got Sign of the Times. But I did buy Tom Petty's Wallflowers and all the rest. I know there was a big box set. I got this off the free album set, which the first two was the Wallflowers album, and the third disc was the third album is all the rest stuff. Produced by Rick Rubin with Tom Petty and Mike Campbell. This is just an absolute wonderful album. I wasn't really that aware of it at the time. I thought, when I saw it, I thought I'll take a punt. I did have a listen. Nice hype sticker. So that was my top reissue of 2020. If I can put this, no, I'll put it back later. So, going back to the actual new out releases of 2020, I tend to be quite conservative. I don't really go out my way to find new artists as such. If I listen to it and I like it, I'll stream it more than buy it. So the 5 releases, top 5. Number 5, AC/DC's Power Up. When there was talk about AC/DC releasing this album, I was really worried. Rock or Bust wasn't a great album. The way the tour ended, I just thought this. I didn't have high hopes for this at all. I didn't buy it straight away. I streamed it first. I thought, you know what, I'll stream it. I had heard Shot in the Dark, which I did quite like, and I thought, okay, this might be promising. Listened to it, and I just thought, yeah, this is what Rock or Bust should have been. And it's more remarkable as the songs came from the outtakes of the Black Ice album. So it's got Malcolm Young. He's on it in a way. He's on it through writing it, and it was beggars, but it makes you wonder why were these songs not used on Rock or Bust. You know, it makes Rock or Bust seem even bigger turkey now. In my view, this is the best album since Razor's Edge. That's how good an album I think it is. It really is good. It's nothing groundbreaking. It's your typical AC/DC album, but some really nice songs on here. And I think they did make the effort to actually make it a decent album, where I think Rock or Bust may not have been as crafty. It's, you know, they really put the heart and soul into this. They wanted to make this a good album. Oh, that's better. Next album, number 4. Bruce Springsteen, Letter to You. Again, I streamed it first before buying. That's how I do it now. I'll audition before I buy. Absolutely, it really is a good album. It's took me a couple of listens to really pick up how good this album is. This is almost, in my view, sort of like how can I describe it? I think it's quite an emotional listen at times. Particularly the last track, I See You in My Dreams, which is sort of like he's honouring his fallen bandmates, those that have got no longer with him. And Last Man Standing. Some really good songs on here. I don't know whether lockdown's sort of like, you know, because of lockdown and or this you can't play gigs. A lot of effort has gone into albums. There have been a lot of good albums that have come out this year. Not all. I think John Downing, 6-inch pianist, said that not all albums were sort of like retrospective albums. Some of these were some of the albums were quite joyous affairs. Number 3, Bob Dylan's Rough and Rowdy Ways. Probably, to me, a bit of a surprise. I've got the hype sticker back to front. When he dropped the track Murder Most Foul, the 17-minute track, it was like about JFK. I'll see on the back there. It was like, whoa, where did that one come from? That was it. Come as a bit of a surprise there, and it was a surprise. It was quite pleasing, and it reached number 1 in America or something like that. And then the album comes out, and it's just like an absolutely wondrous listen. Maybe he's in a position where he doesn't care anymore. He turns 80 next year. I know he's just sold his back catalogue. He sold the rights to his back catalogue and got a tidy sum for him. But this album's an excellent listen. Got to number 1 in the UK. I think the oldest person to ever have a number 1 album in the UK. Yeah, and it's a really good album. I really enjoyed that. My second favourite album of 2020. This is Songhoy Blues. This is Optimize. This is really good rock album. Probably the best rock album in my opinion of 2020. Don't let the cover, the boy band cover, put you off. This album really rocks. From Marley, if you've never heard of them, this is their 3rd album. They've sort of mixed their Marley music with rock influences, and I think they've sort of been exiled a little bit from Marley. I don't think but they're certainly angry with what's going on there, and there's quite a lot of political on this album. And I think the anger, they use the rock riffs to really bring that out. This is wonderful. You haven't heard of Songhoy Blues, they're definitely worth checking out. Would love to see them live. And the album of 2020 for me, my favourite album, it's Sparks, A Steady Drip, Drip, Drip. A wonderful album. It sparks at being Sparks. A bit over the top in the production. Russell's voice goes a bit too high at times. But some of the songs, iPhone, which is having a dig at people that spend all the time on the phones, and that includes me. But the end track, last track on here, Please Don't Fuck Up My World. And then apologies for the language there. Just absolutely sums up 2020 for me. Yeah, wonderful album. You got songs like Stravinsky's Only Hits, Sainthood Is Not Your Future, I'm Toast. A lot of humour, as always, with Sparks. Absolute wondrous album. Again, if you haven't heard it, it's well worth checking out. That is my number 1 album of 2020. So there you go, that end of the last video of 2020. I hope 2021 is going to be a better year. I think we've all got things that we want to do. I'm hopefully going to get to the Bearded Theory Festival. May not be in May. I've got a feeling it's going to have to be moved, hopefully. I want to see get more gigs. I do miss live. I particularly miss not been able to meet up with the British VC guys. We have regular Zoom meetings once a month, which are fun, and it certainly lifts the spirits, but it's not quite the same as digging with a load of people. Sort of realising that maybe moving on, that the big conglomerates aren't everything. They have their uses. I've certainly taken advantage, but maybe look at more your local shops. But that's 2020. It can only get better, folks. I will be waving it goodbye outside and welcoming 2021, asking it to wipe its feet and don't leave such a mess as the previous occupant. So, VC, if you're new to my channel and you like what you see, click on the subscribe button. Thumbs up, thumbs down. Hope I do like the interaction. Feel free to leave a comment. I'll try and get back to you. Hopefully I'll be back next year. It will probably be a vinyl tag video. Somebody's going to put up a vinyl tag 2021. And that'll be interesting to see how people respond to that. So, VC, until the next time, have a happy new year. Take care of yourselves. Keep spinning. More importantly, keep smiling.